Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for giving me the opportunity to present one of the possible solutions, one of the services that we are working on in the ACCSEAS project. This is the Vessel Operations Coordination tool that was that we developed or played with in the efficiency project. So it's some of the experience that we gained from the efficiency project that we have moved on in the ACCSEAS project and continued development on. In the first tests in Denmark with the national search and rescue authorities there, we participated in a search and rescue exercise, which is this is the picture up here, a search area. We tried some basic functionality and tried if this vessel operations coordination tool could help in the work of the search and rescue authorities. They mainly use voice communication today in the search and rescue world, and it takes time, and often there are mistakes when you transfer a lot of information in voice. It took 14 minutes to transfer an area with four positions. That's about 50 separate digits that needs to be transferred from one place to another via a voice link, written down on a piece of paper. A 5 may turn into a 3 when written down, and it may change during the transfer of that information. So we tried to transfer the information via the route exchange functionality, and it took 30 seconds to put it in the system, and a split second to transfer to the vessel. And that is what we tried to work on in the ACCSEAS project with the vessel operation coordination tool. We are mentioning search and rescue. It could also be used in other scenarios, combating oil spills and so on. This is the picture from shoreside. There are two modules in the vessel operation coordination tool. There's a calculation module. There are a lot of suppliers of this for rescue coordination centers today that can do this really with a detailed drift calculation and so on. We did a really basic one based on the YAMSAR manual. So taking the calculations in the YAMSAR manual and transferring that into easy-to-read algorithms. The other part of this service is the communication module. So being able to first calculate the search area, the search pattern, and then transfer this information to a vessel in an operational situation. And it's possible that the most important part of this is the transfer of information. So the communication part can be connected to any available calculation module. And I will just shortly demonstrate it. Please, Captain, come to the bridge. This is the sound where we did the initial technical tests of the VOCT service. Down here in the bottom here is the lighthouse called VOCT Lighthouse. It's a manned lighthouse with 3 persons aboard. We simulated a collision with that lighthouse of a big tanker. 3 people in the water, jumping in the water and drifting. I will just show you now the calculations. Here we initiate the search and rescue operation. We are now coordinating either vessel or shoreside. Over here is the bridge of a ship that we want to send the information to. First we choose which search patterns to use or which search calculation to use. And we're pretty quick to be out in that area, so that's going to be a rapid response. Then we call it number 1, and we put in the position, last known position. Now we start counting. It should take 30 seconds. That's the last known position at VOCT, so it's 1524, this position. of the lighthouse. Then we have some drift. It's possible to get the weather data from a database. Right now we just take it manually, so it's 2.5 knots in a southerly direction. And leeway, that's the wind blowing these three guys in a westerly direction, 15 knots. Let me see here. There we are. Then the initial position error, they could have fallen in the water with some, there could be a position error. We know the position of the lighthouse, so that's 0, and so on. Then we can choose if it's a person in the water, if it's a raft, if it's a dinghy, but it's persons in the water, so they're going to drift in a certain way. And then we push next, and we have the calculation. This is normally done in paper in different tables, and it will take quite a while. I did it when I went to the navigational college, and we spent days doing this. It was quite cumbersome. Then we finish, and we get the area. Then we want to transfer this area to a vessel. So we can see that the closest vessel is to Restborg down here. So we choose him in here. We select from AIS and we select Restborg. We select it, and then search velocity 6 knots. It takes the size of the vessel from the AIS information. Then we have the visibility 3, and it's quite cold at the moment, so only 1 hour. Maybe he will survive for 1 hour or so. So we have to be quick. Then I push save, and I push close. Then I go to the effort allocation. We could invite other vessels to participate in the search and rescue, but just for presentation or demonstration, we just choose one. Then we do the effort allocation. We choose the vessel that we want to calculate for. We have the wind speed, again 15 knots. Water elevation is the wave height, so it's 3 feet. And then we calculate the effective area. Then we get a square here. We can move it around. We can drag it. The search area is the same. The square miles are the same, so we can just move it around and drag it so it fits with our needs. Then we can create a search pattern. We are closest to the southern part, so we choose the bottom left corner, and we choose a creeping line search. That's different. That's expanding square search and everything. That's plenty of possibilities. And then we generate. This is then the search pattern, and then we want to transfer this search pattern to the vessel. Now, fingers crossed. Yeah. Then we have, this one is the full overview of all vessels. This is, on the other hand, is only the invited vessels, the vessels that's invited to the search. We choose the manage search and rescue, and we then send search area.
Right, and to the unfortunate delegates at the back of the room, there's a screen up here. And I just got a message that search and rescue operation is on the way, and if I want to participate and accept the search pattern here, which I will do. Accept, and I got a search pattern on the screen. And I'll just zoom in a bit. Not that will make much difference to you. And select the route and say activate route.
Yeah. Then this is transferred to the coordinator side. I can see his planned search pattern. He can change it if you like. I can see his position here. When we push accept, we start tracking him, so we can see his position every second. We can follow his search, so the searched areas will be illuminated in the screen. And as he starts to do the actual search pattern, we start to cover the area and hopefully find the 3 persons in the water. This is on the trial basis, but hopefully we will continue the work. We have a really good contact in the Netherlands, so we're going to do some intensive testing of this functionality with the Dutch Coast Guard later this year. just to see if it suits their line of work, and hopefully we will be able to move this further in the coming years. Functionality like this. The important thing is the professionals that are involved in search and rescue. They know exactly what to do in a search and rescue exercise. There are a lot of other vessels, commercial vessels, that are not doing search and rescues every day, and that are not used to the lingo in search and rescue. So they will be maybe in the future be able to receive that on their Transas or other ACCSEAS brands and participate in a search and rescue operation as a search and rescue vessel. So that is the idea of it, and I'm really looking forward to the testing and further development of this. Thank you.
Thomas and Matt, well done. An award for bravery in setting up a complex demonstration in a conference like that. But very exciting technology. Could absolutely transform the life of the guy on the bridge who's under pressure to get out there, coordinate search and rescue as effectively as possible, and to take all those manual processes that I remember struggling with many, many times, and I was one of the lucky ones who was trained to do it routinely, to try and have that appearing on your display in front of you and use your ship to best effect, I think is really exciting stuff. So an example of the emerging services from the ACCSEAS projects. Now there is about 2 minutes if there's a question for Mads at all. Alternatively, of course, I'm sure that we can run this demo again towards the end of the afternoon once we've closed our panel session.
Maybe for the ones in the back.
We can always telephone them and describe it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for attending this first session